Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. For me, it's a very dark morning here. I'm so happy to be with you to be able to practice this restorative yoga today. We will be doing the restorative yoga together in about 10 minutes. We like to come on about 10 minutes early in our live classes so we have a chance to greet each other and say hello and to get a chance to know who's joining us. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay, and also say hello, let us know where you're joining from, and just let me know how it's going for you today. How are you feeling in this holiday season, in this darkest time of the year if you're in the winter, or in the longest days of the year if you're in the southern hemisphere? So I've been noticing that we've got this kind of push and pull happening right now. For me, I live in Canada, in the northern hemisphere, and we've got these really dark days. Right now it's raining, it's 9 o'clock, it's still dark, it could still be nighttime, and I just feel all I want to do is stay in bed and read books and just curl up and nap and rest. And yet there's this pull to be out, to be socializing, and also there's this kind of thing that's causing me a lot of aggravation, which is, every time I turn on a video on YouTube, there's somebody telling me how I should be improving myself in some way, shape, or form. And that was really the motivation or inspiration for this class, because in truth, there's nothing, and I really want you to all hear this, there's nothing any one of us need to do to improve ourselves. So you are all perfect and whole and complete, and this whole push at this time of year for self-improvement is just is everybody trying to make their money, and that's what we're focusing on at this time of year in our membership community. Just coming back in, slowing down, staying inside, knowing that we have all the answers inside, and that we really need to question what's coming at us all the time. All these trips that get laid on us, that all these needs, they're not needs, all these agendas that get pushed on us for self-improvement, because everything that we need is absolutely within us. I don't have all the answers for you. Only what you need is deep within you. This week I had the shock of my life when there's this thing on Instagram now where you can look in your settings and it'll tell you how much time you spend on Instagram a day. And I couldn't believe, social media addiction is real. I couldn't believe how many hours I was spending on there. And so yesterday I really I didn't even go on it once, because, part of scrolling through and looking outside all the time just pulls us outside of just the wealth that is in us. And it's just the way we're being programmed in our culture. So how's that for a first thing in the morning rant without even having breakfast? Because honestly, I stayed in bed until the last possible minute this morning. So who's here? Let's say hello, and I want to hear how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing and how you're feeling and how things are going for you, and how are people feeling, and who's here? Tim?
Tanya from Belgrade.
Hi, Tanya from Belgrade.
Elka is here from Holland.
Hi, Elka from Holland.
And Samantha from New Mexico.
Hi, Samantha from New Mexico.
That's the Yoga U in Toronto.
Hi, Lucille in Toronto.
Oh, that's Lucille. Brian in New Jersey.
Hi, Brian in New Jersey. How are you all doing? Anybody saying how they're doing? Or are they just offering up names?
I know that apparently it's miserable in Toronto and gray.
Miserable and gray.
Brian's jacket's still wet from being outside.
Oh yeah, that wet jacket thing, and that gets it right when it's so wet and rainy, and then it gets right into your bones, and you just have to curl up with a hot cup of tea. And
Jen Franklin's going to be here for a little bit, but then she's going to help her daughter move, her 18-year-old move.
Hi, Jen. Jen lives just on the other side of us, just south of us.
Oh, okay.
Helping her daughter move. That's a busy day. Be good to yourself. I know she's been having some tendonitis flare-ups, so.
We've got Carol saying hello.
Hello, Carol.
And Inspire C21, hello.
Inspire C21. That's a nice username.
Yeah. And we've got somebody with Asian characters, but I obviously can't write. So.
Okay, we can't read the Asian characters, but hello. That's kind of fun.
And Jen, I said she's in Alberta. She's feeling good.
Jen's in Alberta, feeling good. That's good. Maybe they've got sunshine there. Sunshine, probably snow.
Yeah, it was sunny here yesterday. It was lovely.
Well, we usually get some sunshine in a day. Lots of change.
Yeah, for sure.
So, we've got about 4 more minutes, or probably 3 more minutes before we get started. You can let me know if you have any comments or questions before we get started. I just wanted to let you know that in January 7th, we're going to be starting in our membership community our all levels course, which is My Tree, making space for yourself. And in this course, we're going to be working with 2 meditation protocols. One is, with all the things that happen in our lives, we tend to start to shut down and close off. And part of loving kindness towards ourselves is to let go, to attend to all those things that have landed in our bodies in ways that we have shut down. And this creates more space and openness so that we can, and indeed, a loving and kind environment for ourselves. And then the second meditation protocol that we'll be using is a deep connection with the earth so that we can feel the openness, the spaciousness and emptiness, and know that everything is welcome, and whatever happens in our life is okay. So this is going to be our focus in January for our course. It's by application only. The course is almost full. We only have 4 spots left. And if you're a member, you can check that out. There's a link right off the main dashboard called Courses. Just click on that and then click on the All Levels courses and check that out. And if you're not already a member and you're interested in a course called My Tree, which basically means developing an attitude of friendliness towards yourself. And in these courses, we require you to either be at the weekly live classes where I offer a Dharma talk and also a meditation each week. And then we require that you practice the meditation that I offer in the class throughout the week, every single day. So it's a fairly deep dive into meditation, into meditation, somatic meditation that will offer loving kindness with a loving kindness lens for you. So if that's an interest to you and you're not a member, you can always sign up to become a member. And I know really this is a tremendous value, because when I look at the cost of other courses, this is just within the cost of a membership. So tremendous value, and it's something that really makes my heart sing to offer the courses and to work with a small group of people, because it's limited to 12 people in each course and I only run 2 times. So I love working with people who are really committed to doing a deep dive over a 4-week period. So that's what I'm really excited about getting back to in January. We've had a little 2-week reprieve.
Before we get started?
Shall we say hello to a few more people before we get started? A couple more minutes?
Yeah, super. Say hi to Donna Parks.
Hi, Donna. Donna sent me a Christmas card. Thank you for that.
All the way from New York City.
From New York City.
Jane Monroe says it's refreshing to have your message this evening.
Hi, Jane. So nice to see you.
Susan Williamson.
Hi, Susan Williamson.
From Nashville.
From Nashville, Tennessee.
Only partly cloudy there. We got Susan Ross.
Hello, Susan. Susan Ross.
And Heidi Jane Monroe.
Hello, Heidi.
And Jane Monroe.
Yeah, Jane. We already said hello to Jane.
Oh, do we? I'm sorry. Sarah Lena from Finland.
Hello, Sarah. Lena from Finland.
Yeah. Pascal from, of course, France.
Hello, Pascal.
Michelle Abercrombie.
Hello, Michelle. I haven't seen Michelle in a long time. Nice to see you.
Hello to Gary from Wisconsin.
Hello, Gary from Wisconsin. Oh, you just kicked the camera. We're doing real pro here today. Wow, I just noticed we've got the most powerful light that we ever use. This light will actually burn holes in things. It's so powerful. That's how dark it is here today. You should show that light. That light's intense. I could be blind by the end of the show.
We've got, well, she wants to know how many people are actually coming in from Europe or Finland to listen. She's curious. Well, we've got a bunch of people.
Oh, in the live stream, how many people are coming in from? Yeah, this time slot tends.
Okay? Is the audio okay?
Yeah, let us know if the audio is okay. So the question is, how many people are coming in from Europe or Finland? And because of this time slot, 9 a.m. tends to be very Europe heavy because it's later in the day, and the kind of people I attract don't go out on Friday nights.
Israel.
Hello, Tom in Israel.
And then we've got Donna Smolinski.
Donna Smolinski. You know what's something that's really funny, Tim? When in the membership community, when I respond to people, we tag them, right? So you say @Donna, and then it comes up all the Donnas.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how many can come up in a row, but it looks like about 10. But there's so many Donnas in our membership community. We have to look up what year is the most popular year for Donnas to be born, because that would be probably the most popular age group that I attract, because I actually have to scroll through to get to the Donna that I'm usually trying to reply to.
So
That's the most popular name in our membership community.
bowling to Brian on New Year's Eve, and we should probably get started here.
We're holding them up.
The Netherlands for Elka.
Dinner time for Elka and breakfast for me. So we're going to be good and hungry when we're done.
And we're going to quickly...
So we're going to start with legs up the wall, and show them the big light. I'll tell them what props. So you could show them these are our props.
You're on camera too.
Okay. We're showing them our props.
Okay. So there's the light.
So while you're relaxing, that's the kind of environment I'll be in. And you guys are going to need, because it's a restorative class, you're going to need a wall. You need a bolster. You're going to need blocks. An eye pillow would be nice. In fact, gosh, I should be using an eye pillow so I don't blind myself. Nice to have a second blanket on top of your mat. Blocks, eye pillow, bolster, a blanket to pull over top of you in case you get cold. And we're going to start with legs up the wall. And I am going to grab my phone so I have a timer. So go ahead and get into legs up the wall. If you have back issues, you need to do legs up the wall with your knees bent, or legs up a chair, or legs up the couch instead. Because otherwise you're going to aggravate your back. Okay, and just settle in here. Allow yourself to be supported by the wall and the floor underneath you. Let your head be heavy. Let your shoulders be heavy. Feel your bones sinking through the muscles, through the flesh. Let your eyeballs drop back, let your face soften. And allow yourself to open to your breath. So this is a restorative yoga class for the new year. And at this time of year, there's a kind of momentum going on to, even in the yoga community, and to set intentions or a sankalp for the new year, a kind of push or drive to improve ourselves, when really there is nothing to fix or change, because in truth, internally we are all perfect and whole and complete. So we start this class with an aversion to turn our culturally held beliefs, the collective conscious idea that we need self-improvement projects, on their head. So we turn those beliefs upside down. Or we take another way to look at them. We question these beliefs. Okay, so very slowly, just noting how you've turned things upside down here, how you've already started gathering energy, restoring energy. We're going to not disperse that immediately by moving quickly, but we're going to keep that energy drawn in and slowly bend your knees. And roll to your side. And then we're going to set up with care. And again, moving slowly, we're going to set up our next pose, which is just going to be supported bridge pose. So you can leave your mat where it is if it's in a convenient place for you, or you can move it away from the wall. And for this pose, you're going to need a block. And you're going to lie down on your back. And remembering that it is a restorative class, you're going to press your feet into the block. Press your feet into the floor and then place the block underneath you. So it doesn't need to be high, because we're trying to restore our energy here. And then just notice how the energy starts to pool in and around the pelvis here. And around the second chakra, which is your energy center for pleasure and sensuality. And so at a time of year when there's this knee-jerk reaction to make things happen, to pull out your inner critic and the pusher and the driver, we're just going to stay and gather energy in around the second chakra, where we can stay connected with our sense of creativity, inner pleasure, sexuality, and just really not rush headlong into doing. Okay, you can either leave the block here, because we're going to do an extension of this pose for the next pose, and just lengthen your legs out and take your arms overhead. Or you can replace it with the block, because we're trying to make, this is a restorative class, so you want the pose to be as comfortable as possible. So this pose is such a great pose for attending to our psoas, which is connected to our central nervous system, tends to constrict, especially at a time of year when we've had a lot of social and financial demands that have left our energy reserves overextended, dispersed, and drained. So going back to what we were saying about this time of year being a time of year where there's a lot of external kind of demands to transform ourselves, to fix ourselves, to change ourselves, our capacity for change and transformation are actually at a kind of at a low right now, when we've just come through this time of year when we've experienced these social and financial demands that have really depleted our energy reserves and left us either overextended, dispersed, or drained. So our capacity for change and transformation are not necessarily possible or sustainable when our energetic reserves are depleted like this right now. And that's why practices like restorative yoga, like we're doing together today, yin yoga, and yoga nidra are so important to replenish our energy reserves. Not only replenish our energy reserves, but to draw back in all the dispersed energy, all the energy that gets dispersed outward. Whether through social engagements, being financially overextended, through social media, we can just draw our energy back in again through these gorgeous practices that we have. This pose is also fabulous for digestion and constipation. There's been a lot of discussion in our community about digestion, and my members have been focusing a lot on digestion over the last week. And I just put up a really helpful journal exercise for digestion for our members in the On My Mat thread last night, which a lot of them are just loving. So it just made me think of that with this pose, which is so fabulous for just relaxing the digestive system, which can just be so clenched up this time of year. Basically, that's what that journal exercise was about, how to relax the emotional and mental and energetic constipation that happens at this time of year. Okay, so from here we're going to bend our knees. Press into your feet. Remove the block and slowly lower down. Just give yourself a moment for your spine to settle. And then you can roll to your side. And we're going to get the bolster for the next pose. And you can see what feels best for you. If child's pose doesn't work for your knees and your ankles, you can always do knees to chest pose instead, and it's nice to do it against the wall. You can also elevate your bolster for child's pose. That can be nice as well. So in this restorative yoga class, what we're doing is we're taking that overlooked step of regenerating our energy. So when the depleted and dispersed energy reserves have a chance to be restored, then you will actually have the energy necessary for your next growth cycle. And let's just turn our heads to the other side so that your neck gets a break. Okay, so very slowly we're going to come out of this pose and we're going to do a twist now. So you can put the blocks off to the side if you're using them to elevate your bolster. And you might want to just lengthen out your legs here because we were in that pose for 10 minutes. So give those legs a little stretch out, lengthen out. And then we're going to walk your knees over to the right side, lower your left hip down, and you're going to take your left knee bent in front of your right knee. So you've got zigzag legs, and then lengthen your spine up nice and tall. Walk your spine long, long, long forward onto the bolster, and turn your head to the side towards your left knee. A nice gentle twist here, another good one for digestion, releasing your spine, releasing all the internal organs. Nice one for your back too. So in restorative yoga, your only task is to become aware of tension in your body, to notice the tension, to breathe into it, and to allow that tension to release, to let go down and into the earth. So sometimes there's tension hiding in the ankles, between the eyebrows. Just notice in the pelvic floor, in the lower belly. Just become a detective in your body and give yourself permission to let go. Shoulders. Keep releasing the places where you're holding on. Corners of the mouth, the jaw. cheekbones. Eye sockets. The hollow of the throat. Okay, so just take a moment here and notice the way the energy is gathering and accumulating. And then we'll go ahead and slowly move over to the other side. So this time you're going to walk your knees over to the left, lower your right hip down, and then you'll bring your left knee down and your right knees up, so your right foot's on the top of your left thigh. And the same thing here, we'll just lengthen our spine up. You turn your chest towards the bolster. And with a long spine, you're going to lower your chest down and the right side of your head down onto the bolster. And let yourself go completely into the props and the ground. Okay, and again, before we come into final shavasana, just take a moment here and pay attention to your energy. Notice how the energy has been restored across the class. It's almost as though you can feel the way your cup has been filled. And then we're going to come onto our backs. For shavasana, I recommend you place the bolster underneath your knees here. And put an eye pillow over your eyes and pull the blanket up over top of you because you're going to be here for a nice long shavasana to rest and integrate. So reflect back now from the beginning of the class and just notice the shifts in your physical body. Notice if there's less tension. Notice if your breath is flowing a little more freely. Notice if there's a little bit more stillness in the mind. A little bit more ease and contentment in your emotional body. And also notice your energy reserves. So if they were like a battery, is there a sense that there's been a renewal or a recharge here? And I know one of the things that I have a habit of doing as a human being is once I have some energy reserve is to go out and spend it all. But it's good to keep some of that energy in the bank account, so to speak, to not drain the battery completely. So just sense into where it feels like the battery is right now, and maybe there needs to be some more recharging happening. And if so, what would that look like? And also here, just feel into and sense into your connection with spirit. So I know for myself, when my energy reserves are built up and nourished and restored, that connection with spirit is so much more vibrant and accessible. So keep resting back here and building those energy reserves. And I'm going to sit up and read you a poem. This is a poem by Rilke called Buddha and Glory, and to me it spoke to the way that when we gather in our energy and connect with the core of ourselves, the way that then we can be effective in the world, then the expression of our true selves can just effortlessly shine in the world. Center of all centers, core of all cores, almond self-enclosed and growing sweet. All this universe to the farthest stars and beyond them is your flesh, your fruit. Now you feel how nothing clings to you. Your vast shell reaches into endless space. And there the rich, thick fluids rose and flow, illuminated in your infinite peace. A billion stars go spinning through the night, blazing high above your head. But in you is the presence that will be when all the stars are dead. Center of all centers, core of all cores, almond self-enclosed and growing sweet. Almond self-enclosed and growing sweet. All this universe to the furthest stars, beyond them is your flesh, your fruit. Now you feel how nothing clings to you. Your vast shell reaches into endless space. And there the rich, thick fluids rose and flow, illuminated in your infinite peace. A billion stars go spinning through the night, blazing high above your head. But in you is the presence. But in you is the presence that will be when all the stars are dead. Okay, and just one more time before you start to even move, just be very still and feel into your energy body. Just notice how your energy has been restored. So this is the biggest mistake that we make, is that we go into the world first before we restore our energy. So this is first. We always have to have winter before the spring. The seed has to have time in the earth before it sprouts, right? And often we just try to sprout the seed without having that time in the earth, in the stillness, where it seems like nothing is happening, but everything is happening, where the energy is being nurtured and nourished, and everything is being created. So it's so important that we take this time, and you can feel it right now when you're still in your body. So take this time just to notice it, to appreciate it, to make a promise to yourself that you won't deplete it completely. And then you can start to invite some movement back into your body, and bend your knees, roll to your side, and slowly make your way up to seated. And we'll finish our practice by gathering the fruits of our practice first into ourselves, and then offering them out into the world. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So give yourselves a thumbs up for drawing in that dispersed energy, for building those energy reserves, and put "I am replenished" in the comments. Oh, Tim changed it. You said, "I am quiet and restored"?
Quietly restored.
Okay, that's beautiful, Tim, writing poetry over there.
That's what you said last time.
Okay, put "I am quietly restored" in the comments, and I am happy to stay with you for a few moments here before I go and have my breakfast, and before some of you go and have your dinner, to answer any questions you have, to hear your comments and your thoughts on this class, and to wish you all a very happy New Year, because this is the last class before New Year as well. So my wish for you for New Year is that you gather all that dispersed energy in and create a very wealthy energy reserve before you go rushing headlong into the new year. So I hope that this class may be of benefit to you, and if you know somebody else who it may be of benefit to, that you may share it with them. So how are we doing here? How far behind is YouTube to our...
It all depends on when they joined you. So some people may only have a few seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it depends on when you actually clicked on the live. You may be like 10 minutes behind me, or you may be a minute behind me, or you may be right in real time with me. So, okay. So,
Did they enjoy the class?
yeah, let us know in the comments how the class was for you. If you have any questions or comments.
Says thank you.
Alana says thank you. You are welcome, Alana. Thank you for being with us today to celebrate this transition into the turning of the calendar year into the new year in January with this restorative yoga class. I'm proud of you for taking the time to gather in that dispersed energy and to create an energy reserve.
Donna says now it's lunchtime for me.
Oh, Donna's going to go have lunch. What are you going to have for lunch, Donna?
Jane says thank you for a beautiful class.
You are welcome, Jane. Thank you for joining me. I will say hello to you on the forum later today, I'm sure, in the membership site.
A lot of them are saying I'm quietly restored, which is fine.
Nice to see that many of you are quietly restored. Thank you for leaving the comments.
Wonderful Michelle Abercrombie.
Nice to see you, Michelle. I've missed you. It's nice to see you. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas with your family. And yeah, do stop by in the membership community and say hello. We'd love to see you there.
Viviana says thank you and Happy New Year to all.
Happy New Year, Viviana. And I love it when you say hello to each other in the comments too. So thank you for saying Happy New Year to everybody in the comments. I wish you all a wonderful New Year.
Tanya says, great class, thank you.
You are welcome, Tanya. I am glad you enjoyed the class.
And Brian's computer. And just, yeah, lots of people saying thank you. So, yeah,
Appreciate-
live stream of 2018.
Appreciate all your gratitude. Yes, this is the last live stream of 2018. It's hard to believe we're going into 2019. It's pretty crazy.
Grilled cheese and snow peas.
Oh, grilled cheese and snow peas. That sounds good. I could just like skip breakfast and go to Donna's house for lunch.
Dana says it's just what you needed these last days of the year.
Yeah, I think this is a healing balm. Alana said that, just what she needed.
No,
Lana.
Lana.
Yeah. This is definitely a healing balm for many. I feel like it's what I needed, and I don't even get pulled into a lot of the social engagements and things that most people do. But I just feel the collective energy at this time of year, and I feel like this class will be a healing balm to many at this time of year. So I'm glad it served you, Lana. Thank you for saying so.
Well, I think, anyway, a lot of people come and watch today's live stream.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us for the live stream. For those of you that would like to continue more in depth with these types of practices, I love working with my students closely in the courses in our membership community. We're going to be doing Maitri, the Maitri course to make space for ourselves, the loving kindness practices, somatic meditation practices that we're focusing on from the beginning of January, starting on January 7th. So if you want to make that commitment in your day to meditation practices with the lens of loving kindness, because I think sometimes that meditation can be a way that we just bring out that inner critic and try to whip ourselves into shape again, and it really needs to be a way that we can love ourselves and care for ourselves and nourish for ourselves, and that's what this course is really going to be all about, just to make space for ourselves, to make space for the ways that we shut down and that tension gets layered into our body. And we're going to do so by really connecting with our body and dropping into the spaciousness, the lovingness, the love, the nurturing, the healing, and the acceptance that's available for us within the earth as well, with some of my most favorite somatic meditation practices that have been passed on to me through the Vajrayana, Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhist lineage that I've learned through Dharma Ocean, my teachers Neil McKinley and Reggie Ray.
Also, sounds like Susan Ross is off to bed in Karachi, Pakistan. Just what she needed.
Okay, have a good sleep, Susan Ross. She's off to bed in Pakistan. And
Should I say bye-bye?
yes, okay, so everybody, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to practice with you today, to gather in that dispersed energy and to replenish those energy reserves. I wish you all the best for 2019. A very happy new year to all of you and your family and your friends and your loved ones. And I look forward to the opportunity to continue to practice with you in the new year in whatever way serves you best. Namaste.